Hey, howdy, hey Disney friends, it's Amber with MickeyTravels. Do you guys ever have those days where you're just like, I really wish I was at Disney? Well, I felt like that today, so I wanted to talk to you and do another video for you. It's kind of chilly and starting to finally warm up where I'm at, but that Florida weather just sounds awesome. And just, there's lots of things happening in the news about Disney. It's just getting my hopes up to want to go. And so I'm kind of just like, well, whatever. This is my therapy, I guess. To talk about Disney with you will satisfy me knowing that a lot of you get to go and have a blast. So today I wanted to do a video on must-dos for Hollywood Studios. Hollywood Studios was opened in 1989. It was formerly known as MGM Studios, and I still call it that in my heart. But there are lots of things for all ages. Hollywood Studios, with its fast passes, is broken into two tiers. So some of the major attractions are split amongst those two tiers. I would say that the three most important attractions to try to get fast passes for are Rock and Roller Coaster, Tower of Terror, and then Toy Story Mania. Rock and Roller Coaster and Toy Story Mania are both on tier 1, so it's impossible to get fast passes for both of those. Now, there are ways where you can split your party if two of you want to do that, want to do Toy Story, and two of you want to do Rock and Roller Coaster. I plan on doing a video on that lately. I plan on doing a video for that in the upcoming episodes because I feel like it's kind of confusing and it's difficult. There's ways around that, so I'm going to show you how to do split parties on the fast passes. Choose between Toy Story and Rock and Roller Coaster, and then Tower of Terror is in the other tier. Those are probably going to be the hardest to get. They are the most popular attractions there, so I would highly recommend getting a fast pass for one of the other. Toy Story Mania is great for all ages. Tower of Terror and Rock and Roller Coaster are thrill rides and roller coasters. So there will be 40-inch to 45-inch requirements on that. When Toy Story Mania first came out, which Toy Story Mania is one of the coolest ideas I've ever seen Disney come out with. You sit in a cart and you are playing arcade games with the 3D glasses. It's just awesome and a good time fun for everyone in the family. Now, it used to be everyone would sprint to that attraction when it opened, and it was almost impossible to try to get a Fast Pass for it because there'd be a line for the paper Fast Passes. So now with this Fast Pass Plus, it's making it a lot easier. So try, I would say, to get the Toy Story over Rock and Roller Coaster. Why? It's got more options for all ages, and Rock and Roller Coaster has a single rider line, so if you are okay with you guys not all riding together, that would be a good option to save some time. So those three attractions are the first on my list, must-dos at Hollywood Studios. Number 2, there are some really cool dining locations at Hollywood Studios. SciFi Dining is a personal favorite of our families. You may have seen on previous videos, you sit in cars and you are inside, but it feels like you're outside at a drive-in. And it's sci-fi themed, so you're watching old-time drive-in theater productions while being brought food to your car as if you are at the drive-in. 180 days in advance for those reservations. Highly recommended. It's becoming extremely popular. The other one, which is also set in the 50s, is 50s Prime Time. And it is like a 1950s house, and you dine as if your mother was serving you food. The waitresses are sticklers about certain things you do, elbows off the table. You know, my family doesn't necessarily appreciate that, but it's cool. The atmosphere is nice. They have some home-cooked type foods. They serve meatloaf. So that's another one to look into. So those two are my top 2 dining locations for this park. Brown Derby is a 2-credit meal here. It's very good, but because it takes 2 credits, not a lot of clients like to use it because they would prefer using that at another location in the resort area. But it's very good. Cobb salad is the thing to order off that menu. But you can go inside and check out the decor. It looks exactly like it did in Hollywood with the famous pictures from the Brown Derby. There's an I Love Lucy episode that takes place in the Brown Derby, so being a Lucy fan, I wanted to go in when I was younger to check it out. It's neat to see, so if you don't get a reservation there, just walk in and check out the pictures. Next on my list, Fantasmic, a must-do nighttime show. Now, there are options for getting a preferred view for Fantasmic, and that is purchasing a Fantasmic dining package. It costs you nothing extra with the dining plan. You just get priority seating for that. And restaurants included are Hollywood and Vine, Mama Melrose, and the Brown Derby. So you can, when your 180 days is ready, get the reservation for the Fast Pass for Fantasmic. It's not really Fast Pass. Get the preferred seating for the Fantasmic with the dining reservation. You'll just, when you look for your dining reservations or tell your travel agent your dining reservations, just make sure you're looking for the Fantasmic edition. Now there are Fast Passes for Fantasmic, as I was mentioning, but remember when making Fast Passes, if you get something for the nighttime, you're not going to be able to get any other Fast Passes in addition to the 3. Once you use the 3, you can get another, but if it's at the nighttime, you're not going to be able to do that. Sometimes it's almost impossible to get anything good Fast Pass wise after those 3 initial ones, so I do recommend getting these for wishes and whatnot. Fantasmic seats many people. Sometimes there's 2 showings, so I don't recommend a Fast Pass for it. I would arrive about 45 minutes before show starts to get a good seat. It does get crowded. There is an animation studio located on property that does tours, and it also shows the ins and outs of how characters are created. There is an opportunity for you, besides going in and just looking at the building, you can actually go in and draw with an animator. It's pretty neat, and you get to take the picture you drew home, and they do give away the picture that the animator drew at the end of the show, so you may be able to take that home too. They do lots of famous characters, classic characters such as Mickey and Donald, and they do random people. And I think once you're in there, the animator chooses who they're gonna draw, but you get to draw along with them and you sit in one of the cool animator palette type areas. So check it out, it's kind of a hidden thing in the animation courtyard area. The characters are abundant at Hollywood Studios. This is one of the only locations you can see Pixar characters, including The Incredibles, Mike and Sully, and the Cars characters. Besides that, Hollywood Studios has a thing called Character Palooza, which happens around 4:30 or 5:30 in the evening at the streets of America. If you want to find out more about that, KennyThePirate.com, who works with our agency, has a great site devoted to character locations. He talks more about this. It's random characters that just show up for pictures and autographs, and some of them are very obscure. I personally have seen Chip and Dale here, Pinocchio, Geppetto, Captain Hook, Smee. I've seen Miko on some people's posts, Pocahontas. It varies depending on who's going to be in the Fantasmic show and who's available that day. So again, it's very limited on the time that they're out there. Just check your schedule. It's not in the maps, so it's not going to be there when you come in to get your map for the resort. You'll need to check with KennyThePirate.com for official times, but again, 4:30 to 5:30 at the Streets of America is where these characters show up. They used to be in the animation building, but now there are actual characters there all the time. Mickey in his sorcerer outfit is there, Minnie Mouse, and whatever film just came out will be there. It was Ralph from Wreck-It Ralph when we were there, but it changes depending on what movie's out. So go and try to make plans to do that, because it's really cool to experience characters you can't find anywhere else. Hollywood Studios is home to an event in May and June called Star Wars Weekends, which for all you Star Wars buffs is awesome. They have things that appeal to the fans, including meet and greets with people who were actually in the movies or in the TV shows. A lot of the characters from the films cast members come dressed as that for photo opportunities. There's an expanded shopping area. There's guest speakers from the movies. They have a spectacular fireworks show at the end. There's lots of opportunities to just get involved in Star Wars. You have Star Tours, the attraction that just tops the cake because you want to make sure you ride it while you're there. And they also offer dining with some Star Wars characters just during these weekends. So Hollywood and Vine has some with the Disney characters dressed like Star Wars, and SciFi has a breakfast with Star Wars characters. So whatever's your taste, if you want to dine with those, depending on who the Star Wars nut is, would be a good idea to look into. They take 2 table service credits for either of those dinings. They are Friday, Saturday, and Sunday nights in May and June. The dates depend on when they're released for the year they go. I believe it's May 15th through June 15th-ish for this year's Star Wars weekends, and they have not announced as of today on this video who will be there on what day for autographs and for meet and greets. But you can check and keep checking, and my Facebook page will always update on information like that. But that's something to consider if you have a Star Wars fan, to devote one of the weekends at Hollywood Studios for the Star Wars event. This is also the only park where you can meet and greet Disney Junior characters. They have their own little puppet show, Disney Junior Live. They have a dining experience where you can eat with some of these characters, which is at Hollywood and Vine for breakfast and lunch only. Sophia, Doc McStuffins, and Jake from the Neverland Pirate. There's also an extra special Disney Junior nighttime party that not a lot of people know about, but if you're staying on property and you want to take advantage of the evening extra magic hours for Hollywood Studios, there is a Disney Junior dance party during those 2 extra hours. It's located in front of the Disney Junior Live show, so you can dance with the characters and interact with them there. It's just nice to have like a late night party with some of your children's favorite characters. So Disney Junior everywhere at Hollywood Studios. Last thing on my list I want to talk to you about is one of the cool things that Disney does, besides having just, rides that are based on the films, they also do live productions for a lot of their favorite films. At Hollywood Studios, you can find a wide variety of different live action shows to watch. They have Beauty and the Beast, which is a very short reenactment of the film. Little Mermaid, which is inside, but the way they depict the film and the show is you going underwater to see the movie again. It is with live action people. There's an Indiana Jones show, which is neat because they show you how stunt doubles work. And then there's a Lights Motor Action show, which is about cars and what they use when they're doing stunts in those films. So live action shows, a lot of them have fast passes available. Do not use them. They are very small increments, but they are really cool. Do not miss them. And as of right now, there is a Frozen one. Not sure how long this Frozen stuff's gonna last, but there is a Frozen sing-along at Hollywood Studios. There's also one at Disneyland and California Adventure. So that one is probably the most popular at this point. So if you just need a filler fast pass, I would suggest that one. Thanks so much for hanging out with me today. I appreciate you sticking around and subscribing to my channel. If you have any questions about booking a Disney vacation, I'm an authorized Disney vacation planner with MickeyTravels, and I do work with clients all over the world and would love to help you. Our services are completely free, and you can check out my Facebook or our main website for more information about what we do. I will talk to you all really soon. Have a magical day. Bye.